Simon and one other dude who handles some other like code-based things, I believe. But yeah, it's like any other job, except I actually enjoy waking up in the morning and going to do that job. And it was interesting working with BuildBox. Like, as much as I love it, there's only so much that you can do with it. You don't have absolute control because that functionality just isn't there. It's meant to be like as user-friendly as possible. But going through all of that and sometimes being frustrated at the functionality, I was like, I kind of want to learn programming now, just for myself. Maybe not to make money off of it, but I have wanted to make my own game for the longest time, and I tried multiple times to get something off the ground, but it just never came to pass, and I was lazy and didn't learn things the way I needed to, and I was scared of programming for a very long time, and I avoided it at all costs, until now.
So, that brings us to your current indie project, I guess we'll consider it, since your other stuff is actual paycheck.
Right.
Lucky.
I do the best I can. I spent a long time in obscurity eating ramen.
I believe it, man.
Every day.
Hey, don't diss ramen. It's good even if you have no money.
I've got some in the cabinet right now, I'm not going to lie.
But, so that brings us to Skeleton, which is really what got me, following you in the first place, was seeing some of the art and previews that you've done for this. I'm going to be completely honest, I don't really know much of the mechanics because every time I look at it, I'm just like, art, it's so beautiful.
That's exactly what I planned, and I appreciate you saying that. As we've said, I've been an artist for a really long time, and my programming is quite new. Like, I'm coming up on a full year of working on Skeleton, and it's just been stubbing your toe along the way and beating your head against the wall and finding ways that work, but having a lot of detours along the way. Like, I'm not even done with the demo yet, and it's almost a year. But when that demo comes out, it's something I'm going to be really proud of because I've become kind of a perfectionist with certain things. Like, I would see in a lot of indie games, particularly, people set up a feature and they're like, "All right, that's good, let's ship it." And I'll do a feature or concept a feature in my in a notebook, and then I'll change it so many times until it feels just the way I want it to feel. Because I don't think anyone should make an indie game for any other reason than to make the game that you would want to play, that you have not been able to play because other games you've seen handled it terribly, or it was a concept that you just haven't seen before.
If you want to if you want to just be a programmer, go off and do sysadmin or kernel support, something like that.
Like, there's a huge demand for that, and you can make tons of money doing it.
But if you're going to be an indie developer, be a developer.
Right. Make something that you haven't seen before, and that's another reason why I want the art to stand out so much. When it comes to just basic mechanics of Skeleton, it's honestly not anything groundbreaking. You run, you jump, you slice. You can do wall sliding and wall jumping. You've got magic. Like, none of those things are new. But it's a canvas to put something really beautiful on top of it that nobody in the world has ever seen before.
Very much.
No one would have created Skeleton in the way that I'm creating it now. So, I can't come in and say, like, I created some new game feature that's going to revolutionize indie games. But I can say, this game looks beautiful, and I hope you will join me on the ride because, there's a fun little story to tell.
Yeah, I think sometimes that's all you don't really need to reinvent the wheel to come up with, the Mona Lisa of mechanics or game concepts. If you just have a good story, just say something even,
Yeah, I totally agree with you. And not to put down revolutionary game mechanics. I mean,
not at all.
I see people doing some amazing things, and it makes me so jealous. And then I come back to Skeleton, and I'm like, well, it's not the most impressive, but I think it looks very pretty. And, in the game that I think will be kind of surprising that people might not be expecting, but we'll see how the demo release.
Do you mind if I mention the one of the things that with the magic that you just came up with in the last week?
Yeah, go ahead.
So okay, your pet casting all your spells for you, the little bat, whereas you're the one that does the melee damage, the sword. Is that right?
Exactly. That's right. You handle all the physical stuff, and the bat talks to you and will give you some advice. But please don't
make it a Navi. Please no Navi bat.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Like that was my basis for designing the bat character. I was like, what worked well with Navi and what was terrible about Navi. I mean,
hey. Yeah. No.
There were times where you knew exactly what you needed to be doing, but she would stop all gameplay to tell you the thing that you were already on your way to do. And I don't think that she was badly designed. I mean, you don't always know how clever the player is going to be. Maybe there are some younger players who do need that extra helping hand.
Yeah.
I certainly appreciated it. The way that I made my bat different from that is you can go through the entire game and not talk to your bat at all. There's a button there where she will converse with you, but it's totally optional.
Mm-hmm.
And as you mentioned, she also casts spells. You get to choose one of 3 spells at the beginning of the game. That's currently the layout. And each one has a different advantage. So there are things that you can only achieve in certain areas of the dungeon if you have a certain spell. It won't hinder your progress, but it'll be like there's a barrier that can only be broken if you burn it with your fire spell. And once you get past that barrier, you gain access to the blacksmith shop where you can upgrade your sword attack and do more damage. If you don't have the spell when you're rolling through there, I guess you don't get it, or maybe you need to backtrack a little bit and purchase the fire spell that you need. But I want there to be it's not going to be the longest game in the world, but I want there to be a certain aspect of replayability.
Yeah, I mean, some games, because I remember I watched something about the Donkey Kong 64 game. Okay. Whoever did it, I'll have to go find it. But anyways, he said he loved this game growing up, but it was always so tedious having to go switch characters between different Kongs, go back to the same area, go do it again to progress. That seems like a very bad way to get replayability. But it sounds like you've hit that perfect mark. Where
I'm really trying to, and I guess time will tell. But yeah, I've played games like that as well, where they extended the life of the game by forcing you to backtrack. And in some games, it's fine because it kind of works with the story. But I don't want to send people, all the way back to the beginning of the game to get something that they need halfway through the game or at the end of the game.
To me, it seems like this is like, say I completed it. I've got this. I did this set. I got these features, but I know that there were things that I missed. I was like, okay, let me go try it a different way and see what I missed. That
exactly. And like once I got all of that stuff working, because it was not working for a long time because I kind of sucked at programming in recent months. But once I got it all working, I was like, oh god, this is really going to open up all sorts of things for me. I was really happy to get the magic spells implemented because, for instance, when I started playing Skyrim, it feels weird comparing Skeletak to Skyrim because it's in no way similar. But when I played Skyrim for the first time, I noticed the way that you want to play is it's totally optional. You can hold magic spells in both hands if you want, or you can just have a long sword and a shield, or you can punch everybody in the entire game.
Mm-hmm.
It's totally up to you. And
I think someone beat it with no armor and a stick.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
That's just masochism there, but yeah.
That feeling, I wanted to condense that down in a way that would work for Skeletak, and that's what I wanted to do with these 3 magic spells that you get to choose one of at the beginning of the game. Each one, like I said, is different and will have different effects. cure yourself. There's a fire attack, which is long range and pretty powerful. Mm-hmm. And then there's an air spell, which will essentially give you a third jump on top of your double jump.
Wow.
So I want people to be able to play you can be super aggressive and just set everything on fire from a distance. Or if you're not the best at platformers, have that cure spell and just kind of protect yourself a little bit better. Be more cautious and defensive. And then with the air spell, I've had some people mention I might want to try speed running Skeletak once you get it out. And I was like, what's something that might help speedrunners or help people that really like to explore, because there will be certain things in the dungeon that you can only get to if you've got that spell that can kind of give you that extra lift you need to jump up there.
Yeah.
Once again, not anything that would keep you from beating the game. Just
the extra getting to that 100% completion mark.
Yeah, exactly. And I love games where there's hidden lore and things to learn about the game world that you're in. So I want to not go crazy with it, but include stuff like that in Skeletak as well.
Dude, all I want to do right now is just go play this. That's all.
Fantastic.
I just want.
Yeah, that's what I want everybody to say. It's taken me a really long time to feel comfortable with talking about the game to people and getting ready to release this to anybody that wants to play it. I've been very guarded about it because for a long time I didn't know if the game was fun or if I had enough features, etc.
Yeah, we just had that conversation yesterday.
Yeah, there's all sorts of things that kind of make you second guess yourself. Mm-hmm. And in the beginning, I tried to battle against that by adding as many features as possible. My brother and I sat down and we just went back and forth, and he had all these great ideas, and I was like, dude, that's going to be amazing. And then later that night, I was like, I don't have the slightest idea how to implement any of this cool stuff we just came up with. And it's probably going to make me abandon my game because I'm just not at the level I need to be programming-wise. So I just condensed things, as much as I could, and along the way, I figured out ways to add back some of those things I was previously unable to do.
Stretch goals for yourself, sort of.
Yeah, exactly. I tried to be as realistic as possible about it. I was like, I'm not making the next World of Warcraft, even though that's a lot of people's idea for their very first game. I'm going to make the coolest RPG ever.
Yeah.
But I needed to be a bit more realistic and understand, I was coming at this with, an empty brain. I had no ideas about Game Maker or what that programming language was like.
Dude, my first full-length game is one about a rocket, about a wooden crate with a rocket stuck to its ass. So, who's shooting UFOs down out of the sky over, the U.S. and the world. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
And that is a totally cool concept, man. Is a demo out yet? Because I do want to play that.
Yes, there is a stable demo out, and I have a secret demo out for people that are crazy enough to deal with me going, hey, does this idea work? Does this idea work? Does this?
So they're kind of like guinea pigs for the testing.
Yes, the unfortunate souls. Shy Guys, one of them, I think. So I'll send you that link later. So.
Yeah, thank you.
But wow, my choo-choo just flew off the tracks into the chasm below and nuked itself.
It's all good, man.
Oh man, just I feel like there's so much more we could talk about. I mean, we're only 30 minutes in.
Yeah, true. There was another thing in Skeletak that I really wanted to do at first, but then I was just like, no, I'm not intelligent enough for this, and that was procedural generation of my dungeon.
Yeah, you said that yesterday.
You can't go online without seeing 20 developers talking about procedural generation and how amazing it is.
Yeah.